Hi YouTube fam. Today I'm going to be taking a shot at the Rasta pasta. Now I've been seeing a lot of craze about this. I'm going to show you how I make my version of it and what I use. So here we go. Now I have a cup of shrimp. So 1 cup of shrimp, the cooked shrimp. 1 cup of chicken breast, which is 1 slice of chicken breast diced up. I'm using the Classico Alfredo sauce. I'm using the Tex Mex cheese. It also has some seasoning inside of it. And I'm using the Penne pasta. I also use a small green sweet pepper, a small yellow sweet pepper, and a small red pepper. I julienne them. I minced up some garlic, so about 2 cloves of garlic, because they're huge, so I only use 2. I minced them up, and a half of an onion, and I also minced that up. I also used the roasted garlic olive oil, which
I've
is
already
one I
cleaned
use
up the chicken breast, washed it,
shrimp.
use vinegar, water, wash it off, and clean it up,
penne
dice it up, penne pasta, there you go.
Everything I need
I
there.
like this brand,
So
it's
I
really
put
good.
some
I
water
use
on the
about
stove.
2 cups of
I
it,
put about
so making a small amount.
teaspoon
If you're making a lot, you
salt
can go ahead and
inside
put
to
it.
help
So
the
this
water
is
to
the water. I
boil
put a pot of water
before I
on, a
put
bit
the
of
penne
salt.
pasta
So about a
inside.
teaspoon of salt
As
in the
you
water
see
to get it
here,
boiling.
this is the frying pan I'm going to be
And
using.
cover that
Now,
and get
the
it all
water
ready
pot, I
for
cover
the
it down and I
pasta.
turn the
In the
stove
meantime, I'm
on
going
to
to take
number
the frying
6.
pan, and it has like a lid, so
now
I can
I'm
cover
going
it
to
when
turn
I'm
on
ready
the
to
frying pan, and
cook
I'm going to
everything
put
down,
that
as you see there. So I
at
cover that,
also
and I have
number
this ready.
6.
So I'm
For the
gonna pour.
roasted
It's
garlic
on
extra virgin olive oil, I put about
7
a
on the
tablespoon,
stove. I'm
or
going to turn
actually
it
2
down to about
tablespoons
5 after the olive
inside
oil
of the
heats up.
frying pan. I
Now
don't
you
want
don't
too
want to
much
really
oil.
burn the
I just
olive oil,
need
you
to
just
line
want
the
to heat
pan
it
so
up.
things
So
doesn't stick
I
to
turn
it,
it
because you
down
know
to
the seasoning will
5,
stick to
get
it
it
and
it's
burn on the
nice and
roof if you're
heated.
not careful.
Now I'm going to
So this is the
throw my
classical
chicken breast in to get
Alfredo
it all cooked
sauce
up
that I'm going to be
and get it
using.
ready to go.
And this is the
There's a
Tex Mex.
classical
It also has a nice
Alfredo
flavor inside
sauce.
of it
I really
that will
like
bring
that
up
one,
the
and I add
spices
like
inside
a
of the Rasta
handful.
pasta. So I'll be
I better
using
get
about
a
a cup
1/4
of
cup
that.
of the cheese. This
And that's
Tex
the
Mex
penne
cheese
pasta.
in it,
So now
and
you've seen
it gives
everything
it a
that
really
I will
nice
be
flavor because
using
that comes with
today
a seasoning
to
in it
make this
also,
meal come
which
to
kind of
life.
spices
I'm
it
making
up.
a small portion. So if you have a bigger family, you go by what you need. So this is a chicken breast. I've already washed it with my vinegar and I cleaned it. And I'm just ready to put it in the pot to get it all going. Oop, it's getting hot, so I'm going to turn it down to 5 because it got too hot. So I put a little of the Maggie seasoning, just a dash of it, and a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and that's all I'm going to be using for the chicken. I'm going to mix it around to make sure it's coated and make sure it's cooked properly. Now this meal in total, it took me about 20 to 25 minutes. It's very easy to make. So now all the chicken breast has a nice golden color, as you see there. So I'm going to take them out. That burning that you see, it's not really burning actually. It's just the seasoning that I sprinkled on stuck to the pot. So that also has the flavor inside. So now after I remove the cooked chicken breast, oh, I gotta get a little piece up. There we go. Now I'm going to add the cooked shrimp. So these are the frozen cooked shrimp, and I like the little ones because they blend in perfectly. So I'm just gonna mix them because the seasoning is already in the pot, as you saw there. So I'm just gonna mix it in there to get that seasoning up off there and onto it. And I'm gonna put a little bit of fish seasoning, just a few shakes, not much, just season to your taste, right? I'm seasoning it to my taste and how I like it, right? So just a dash of the fish seasoning onto the shrimp for that nice flavor. As you know, the Maggie is already in the pot, and so it will still capture some of that seasoning that I did with the chicken breast. So I use the same pot to do the shrimp to get the flavors out. Now they're done. You don't want to overcook these because they'll get rubbery if you leave them to cook too long. So just a few minutes, toss it around, You notice they're curving, so that means they're cooked. You don't want it to curve too tightly, that means it's overcooked, right? So I'm just going to take that out. There we go. And the next step is as you know, I have the seasonings already ready here. So I'm going to put my peppers, my garlic, and onions inside. The pot already has that flavor. The residue of the flavor is still left in there. So I'm going to saute all of these. As you see here, I'm going to put it on 4 because it's still a little too hot. So now I turn the stove down to 4, so a little past medium, or under medium I should say. And just to cool it down, because olive oil really cooks really fast. So you just got to be careful with it. Now these are getting there. I don't want it to be too soft. I'm just sauteing it. The water is coming along. And now I'm going to move to the next step. So I'm going to put 2 cups of the penne pasta in the water now that it's boiling. So there's the pasta. So I'm going to use 2 cups of this. There we go. And I'm going to cover it down and let that boil. For the instruction on the package, just follow the instruction on the package. You know how long you should let it boil for. I boil it until it's like not overcooked, but just medium. Like, so I taste it and make sure it's okay. Now this is the frying pan again. And I'm going to start the next step, which is another teaspoon of the olive oil. Not too much because you're just lining the pan. Right? Just want it to grease the pan so nothing sticks to it. When it heats up, then it will spread everywhere. Perfect. Now, oops, almost dropped my camera. So as you see here, it's ready. I'm gonna slightly open the pot a little because it's boiling up. I don't want it to boil over onto the stove. So back to the Rasta pasta. So I'm going to be pouring, after I pour 1 tablespoon of the roasted olive oil with the garlic, roasted garlic olive oil, I'm going to put about half of the bottle of the Alfredo sauce, a cup of the Tex Mex cheese. As you see, it has the little pepper flakes in there. So that gives it a really nice flavor, and I'm just going to stir it around so it doesn't stick. And it really brings up the color and the flavor in this, as you see. So half a bottle of the Alfredo sauce is what I use. It's only a meal for 2. So there you go. And a cup of the Tex Mex cheese sauce. It's getting a nice consistency. You put the stove to number 3. Excuse me. So that's like really low. So that you don't want to burn it. You just keep stirring so it doesn't stick, right? And once the pasta is done, also when the penne is done cooking, you want to make sure you put some cold water on that to stop the process of the cooking, right? You boil it till it's al dente. So now these are my cooked seasonings. I'm just going to add them in so the flavor from them can mix in and incorporate everything. Next, I'm going to add the chicken breast. And I'm just going to mix that in also. Get it nice and coated. And you're just mothering this, right? You're just making sure that everything's coming together. Then I'm putting the shrimp. And I'm just going to get that all blended in. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Now, I like my stuff to be nice and creamy. I like the sauce to be all over my pasta. So this is why I do it this way. I want a lot of it on there. And I really like the Classico Alfredo sauce. It's really nice. So now, I'm going to cover that down. It's still on number 3. And I'm going to let that simmer a little. Now the pasta is getting ready. You see, it's almost ready. Let's let it boil a little bit more to what I want it to be. It's now almost al dente. So there's the sauce. It's coming along. It's coming along. I put the stove now on 2 to keep it just mild. I don't want it to cook any more, like not too much. I just want it to get like a little creamy, thick consistency. There's the pasta. So I'm going to put it in intervals. So I put a small amount in, excuse me, and I get it nice and covered. And once that's all covered, I put some more. And I keep doing that until everything is nicely coated. As I said, I really like my pasta to be nice and creamy. So just keep mixing, getting it all in there. Make sure everybody is covered. Everyone gets a little of the sauce. And then I just top it off with the rest. This meal is made a few servings. I had it for dinner twice. Me and my child, we had it, today and the day after, which it really made a good meal. It's easy to heat up for the next day. You just put it in the microwave for a few minutes, depending on your microwave, and it's nicely warmed up and ready to go again because there's enough cream on it so it doesn't get dried out, as you see here. Now I just turn the stove off and continue coating it. Right, let's continue coating it because I don't want it to dry out anymore. The stove, because it's an electric stove, even though I turn it off now, it will still continue to simmer down and make the sauce stick to everything. Do you see there all the colors? Got all the yellow, you can see the red, the green, and everything. So that is all. This is what it looks like when it's dinner time. I did some garlic toast with it, and that is what it looks like. It was a really, really yummy dish. Let me know what you think about it, and if you have any ideas of what you want to try or you want to see me try next time. There you go. This is the Rasta pasta. Yum, yum, yum. Stay safe.